Hello, my name is Yusuf. Today, let's discuss village banks and how village banks can actually be used to create massive wealth for the members. Now, first of all, I think that village banks are a very wonderful development. Village banks are fulfilling a useful purpose. With village banks, people have easy access to money to help them resolve issues that come up. So village banks have done extremely well. But I think that one important aspect of village banks is the mere fact of bringing people together. Because it's so important to realize that we are stronger together. Numbers can achieve much more than what an individual can. That is very straightforward. So I think that I definitely endorse village banks wholeheartedly. It's very, very good. And I'm sure that many people out there have noticed that village banks are no longer just things that women do. Men have come on board, and rightly so. Because the potential that village banks have for wealth creation is massive. A few days ago, I was speaking to a friend of mine. He told me that he has teamed up with his mother, his father, and his two other siblings. And together they purchased a parcel of land back in their home area. Some 50 acres of land. They contributed to buy that, and they have plans to put up infrastructure there. They want to put up a school. They want to put up, some training institutions, some clinics, and things of that nature. Right there, I think you have a very good example of what we can achieve together. So now, village banking as a model for wealth creation is very powerful. Because today, if I have 20,000 kwacha, I could start a business. But I think that it's very clear that my business will be limited. The growth that I'm able to achieve will be limited because, the amount that I'm able to pump in is limited. And I will be running that business basically single-handedly. Imagine again that I could invite 10 other people to join me in the village bank, and each one of us brings 20,000. That's 200,000 amongst us. Now, the dynamics change. There's so much that we can do together. We can go into commercial real estate, whether that is to buy pieces of land, subdivide them, service them, and resell those pieces of land at a much higher price. Together, we could go into commercial chicken rearing, commercial fish farming, and maybe even add value to the fish and the chickens. There's so much that we can do together. That's the power of village banking. And realize that village banks are very easy to form. You can start a village bank with members of your family. You can start a village bank with your schoolmates. You can start a village bank with your churchmates, with your colleagues, with anybody really who thinks, in the same way that you do. I think that we need to take advantage of village banks, leverage on the success that village banks have already achieved to actually create massive wealth. But as you can tell, if village banks are going to help us grow wealth, create wealth, the conversation needs to be elevated. We now need to think and discuss long-term investment. We need to talk about starting up ventures from scratch or investing in ventures that are already there, but scaling them up. We need to talk about putting in slightly higher amounts of money so that we can actually grow those funds and achieve the financial freedom for the members that should ultimately be the goal of all the village banks. So for now, I think village banks have served their purpose. They are a source of those little loans. That's very important. That ought to continue. But we can add another layer to that and make these village banks as investment vehicles to create wealth. I think that's achievable. I believe that even through these village banks, Zambians can run the mines, whether it's on the Copper Belt or in the Northwestern Province, or wherever these mines are, or anything else for that matter. There's so much that we can achieve using these village banks because we are working together as a group. Somebody says that if you want to run fast, then go alone. But if you want to run far, then go with others. The idea of signage, the idea of numbers, there's so much that we can achieve as a group. So let's go ahead and form these village banks. And if you're not already in one, please join one or set up one with members of your family, your schoolmates, anybody really. Let's create wealth, real wealth. Let's use these village banks. They have already worked. We can enhance them and achieve the financial goals that we all need. Thank you so much. Let me hear what you think. Remember to subscribe to this video. Thank you so much.